Hey there, seekers of tangible results.
Welcome to the No Nonsense Zone, where common sense meets the spiritual. I'm Jason.
I'm Emma, your unapologetically real spiritual guides.
We don't sugarcoat, we don't dance around the woo-woo. We just deliver the raw kick-ass truth.
Join us each episode as we dive deep into the mystical, cut through the bullshit, and show you how to manifest the tangible results that you've been craving for.
No fluff, no filters, just two mentors on a mission to elevate your mind, body and soul.
Get ready to transform your life like never before. This is Soul Aligned Results, where spirituality meets the real world. Welcome everybody, this is Emma Romano and the amazing
Jason Parks.
And this is Soul Aligned Results. This is our podcast. It's our second podcast and part 2 of Kissing Frogs.
That's it. Yeah.
So Jason, I'm going to leave it with you. I keep interrupting Jason. Sorry, mate. Go for it.
That's all right. No, let's launch in. So last time, just a quick recap. So last time, what we were talking about, the statement, you've got to kiss a few frogs before you find a prince.
Yes.
Looking at that as a metaphor about really conscientious discipleship, about being discerning as a student, but understanding that you can be. I think that's one of the big things. That most of us, when we first start, we don't realize that we're supposed to be. We think that we're supposed to follow people because they're wise and enlightened and all of these things. And of course, you soon realize that that's not necessarily the case.
Mm.
And sadly, you realize that because you follow that advice and your life gets worse.
And, oh my God, isn't it true?
Yeah. I used to be in a religious order, and within that order, I remember that when I left that order, I got a few years later, I got a job in public service.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, well, and of course, I was still in contact with that order in certain ways. And it was sort of that same view. It's like, oh, you're going to be in the mundane world, you're going to be dealing with all these problems. And I went in there and I got to tell you, I was gobsmacked that people were just walking around functioning as human beings without any kind of spiritual practice.
Mm.
And now I look at it and I go, of course they are. Everyone's just getting on with life. So the problem is that you or me, I thought that this was how you function, because I wasn't very functional when I first started looking for it. But I didn't realize I'd actually had little peaks and troughs, but there was, morally ambiguous people in there, and I was following their advice.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. And I think that's one of the things. If you're not clear enough in the beginning, you're not going to realize, because they're going to hide it under a number of things. And there's a lot of gaslighting, there's a lot of shaming. That's one of the big things: shaming, isolation, gaslighting. Yeah.
Definitely. You know what? One of the biggest ones about mentoring. So like, I you and I do a lot of mentoring with people, and I just recently got somebody who signed up for me, and then she says, look, Emma, I'm going to switch. I'm like, okay, cool. Who with? Because, if it's Jason, if it's Shani, if it's Shayla, if it's whoever, like, that's awesome. Cool. Go for it.
Yep.
And she said, she told me the name of this woman, and I went, okay, now I need to ask you why. Because you're asking this woman to mentor you in business, yet she doesn't have a business.
Yeah.
She's not in this business. So it was about, being a therapist. She wanted mentoring on being a therapist, as in making the business around being a therapist. And I said, why would you choose this woman? Where's her results? Yeah, but this is what she said. I went, no, don't tell me what she said. Show me her results. How much is she making? How many clients has she ever had? None. She's only just started. You tell me why you would pay her $30,000 to build your business then.
Yeah.
Because your mentor has to have the results that you're looking for. That's your tangible results.
That's exactly right.
And there's another thing that my big one, this is my big one, this is me being, she's gone on a rant, peeps, right? Hold on to your hat. When you're looking for a mentor that is telling you how to run a business as a therapist, make sure they have a business as a therapist.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
that was my mistake. All these mentors that I'd signed up to, previous of Jason, never had clients. They were
Yeah.
just mentors.
Yeah.
They're telling me how to build a business. I'm like, yeah, but this is why it didn't work, because they're not on the front line.
Yeah.
They're not
Exactly
in
right.
the, they're not in the trenches with you. Is it the trenches or dredges? What is it called?
The trenches. In
Trenches.
the
There you go.
trenches.
See, I can't really English. Failed you right twice. Right. Must have been daydreaming when they told me that word. You want your mentor to be in the trenches with you. If you want mentoring on a relationship, you got to make sure your mentor has the relationship that you're wanting to be mentored.
Yeah.
If you're looking for someone to help you with your marriage, you want to make sure that your mentor has a great, magnificent marriage.
Yeah.
It's like that's your tangible results. And this is where I used to go wrong, because I wouldn't ask the right questions. Well, if I need help on this, how's your marriage? If I want help with my kids, how's your relationship with your children? How does that look? Show
Yeah.
me the results.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Show
Yeah.
show me that. I want to see it, and this is what you want to be asking your mentors. What kind of lifestyle do you do? And another great question you want to ask your mentor is this: when you're in the shit and you're finding life hard, how do you deal with it?
Yeah. Because
Because
that's
I'm sorry, because a narcissist will tell you, but I don't have any problems.
that's right.
My life's never shit.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear Jason and Emma in the background going, bullshit.
There's only two reasons in spiritual practice you don't have problems, right? One is that you're not doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the moment you start doing the work, you're going to trigger your pain body, and that pain body is going to throw shit at you, and you need to manage that. So that's a good indicator. So the second one is they're fucking lying to you,
100%.
and if they're lying to you, you don't want that person giving you life advice that you want to follow.
Yeah, and this is the best one. So when if you're looking for a mentor and you ask them, who's your mentor? And if they
Yeah,
go, I don't have one, run.
yeah,
Run for
yeah,
the hills. If they say, oh no, I haven't had to have a mentor for a couple of years now, run. Because
yeah.
they're not doing the work.
That's right. Yeah,
If your mentor is getting you to do work and getting you to heal from stuff, your mentor needs to be on their consistent journey to healing themselves.
yeah. And everybody needs, and I think this is the thing, and we look at people that are really in the top of big things like Sadhgurus, and I don't mean like YouTube Sadhguru. He is
No.
a Sadhguru. If people don't know what that word means, Sadhguru means like senior teacher and
Mm-hmm.
like head of a lineage.
Mm.
So it's not a name, it's a title.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I met three Sadhgurus in over time, and they're heads of millions of followers,
Mm.
and within that, and then you got like people like the Dalai Lama and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
or even the Pope,
Mm-hmm.
and there's leaders that have got massive communities. Now those people have around them, they have people around them that keep them grounded, that keep them honest. Said sometimes it's difficult for people to get mentors above the level that they're working at, but
Mm.
they're going to have a group of peers that they listen to, because that's really what it's about. It's about a
Mm.
mentor is somebody who's doing the work, who's sharing, and I think that's the number one point. We talked about the last episode about um, a lot of professional mentors are professional mentors.
Yeah.
That's what they do, and what they're doing is they're teaching you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a book can teach you,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem with a book is that knowledge moves on. And that book, when it's written, when it's edited, when it's published, the moment it's published, it's stuck in a frequency. So you're going to move into that frequency. And a good book does that. You start a book and you're at this point in the frequency. And then as you finish the book, you should be in this point of frequency. and you move beyond the range of the book.
Yeah.
Now, some books are written in such a way that you can go back again and again and again, and you can just keep getting more and more out of them. That's pretty rare to get those, but most
Yeah.
of them go through it. Yeah. And then, but that's teaching. So if you've got a mentor that's not doing, they're not in the trenches with you. Said what that means is they're not sharing their practice, which is real time. So what they're doing is they've got knowledge at a certain point and they're trying to take you through it. And they're going, right, here's the 6-step program that I'm going to offer you. And one of the things I know, it frustrated the hell out of you when you first started working with me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there isn't one.
I know. And it's so funny because since I started mentoring with you, you know, and I mentor others and they go, so what will we be doing? I go, I don't know.
That's right.
And they go, what? And before, because my mentor said, you have to write this down and type this down and tell them you're doing this, tell them doing that. And I just don't do any of them. I'm like, listen, we have to figure out where you're at, where you're at. We have to figure out, I said, our job is really to heal the bottom frequencies and get you into a higher frequency. That's what we do every session.
Spot on.
That's every day, every session. That's what we do. How we do it, fucked if I know. We'll figure it out when we get there. I said, I can't plan because otherwise we're in fantasy land again. Let's keep this real. Let's keep this really freaking tangible results. It's kind of our logo, isn't it? Tangible results. It is.
Tangible results.
Tangible results. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So when you're looking at it, it's like, I suppose, well, we're into our second list. So last time we had a bit of a list about what to avoid. So if you want to go back and look at that one if you missed it, but moving forward with it, it's like, well, what do you want? You know, what do you want in a mentor in that way, or even interacting in the community in that way? So the first thing I've got is that point. They're doing their own work. So that mentor is doing their own work, right? And they've got to do their own work because otherwise they're teaching you. And they shouldn't be teaching you. They should be sharing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
now,
important.
If they're doing their work and they're sharing, you're going to see something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable in the beginning. And that first thing is they're going to tell you when they struggle. They're going to tell you when they struggle. And the reason I make a point of it, now I don't dwell in it. I'm not like rolling around on the floor wailing about how difficult my pain body's made it for me since we last spoke.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'll say to you, it's like, you know, okay, well, this is what's happening. Like, this is what I've been going through at the moment, blah, blah, blah. And whatever it is. And the reason I'm telling you is because probably next week you're going to say, hey, going? I'm saying fantastic. And you go, really? Last time I spoke to you, you had this going. I said, yeah, this is what I did about it. Boom, boom, boom.
That's what I love. And that's what I find. Yeah. When since I've been mentoring with you, it's, you'll share something about someone and I go, why is he sharing this with me? 3 days later, oh. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gold. It's such gold. And I want to just give another example of what we mean by teaching and sharing. So I can pick up a book of the ABC book and teach you an ABC, right?
Yeah.
I can teach you the ABCs like that. Here you go, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or I can share my experience of how I learned the ABC. And it could be, I got to G, and then that was really easy for me. And then I really, really struggled with HIJ. And because I found out that I was triggered by HIJ. And, you know, so I decided, this is how I decided to deal with the trigger, blah, 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 blah. That's what we mean by the share.
Yeah.
Because anyone can teach something. Well, not anyone can teach, but most people can teach something.
Exactly
A book
right.
a YouTube channel can teach something.
Yeah.
But when you can guide and share the journey of how to learn it and the journey of how to experience, that's the gold in the mentoring.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because if you're wanting a mentor to help you in spiritual practice or anything, business, whatever it is, ask them, can you share when you're interviewing? Because now don't forget, you've got to interview the mentor. The mentor, don't let the mentor interview you, even though mentors will say that. Say, I'm going to interview my people, right? Now,
Yeah,
you interview the mentor
that's right.
because the mentor works for you. You don't work for the mentor.
That's
And
right.
you're going to say to the mentor, like, okay, tell me all the issues you've had in your business or your spiritual practice and tell me 5 of them. 5, give me 5 and tell me how you got through them.
Yeah,
And just see how they got through them. Because if they don't tell you at one stage, oh, I really hit rock bottom and it was shit for a while. If they sit there and go to you, oh no, run.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
If they're flipping about because they should have at least 1 to 2 stories, they go, I was on my ass.
that's right. Yeah,
Didn't think I could breathe.
yeah,
Didn't know what to do. Had no idea. I ran away, or they went to something. You want to know, well, okay, then how long did it take you to get out of that? Because that you want your mentor to have really fucked shit up.
yeah,
You really want them to fuck shit up because you know what I mean? Because then they
yeah.
know how to unfuck it.
I want to clarify something in that though.
Yes.
That is super important. And then what you want from them is that you want to see that they fuck up different shit at better quality shit.
Yes.
Not
Great
the
point.
same
Not the
shit,
same shit.
time again.
They want different problems.
I remember a narcissistic teacher that I had, mentor, and he was giving me relationship advice. And of course, I don't have a poker face, so it's like I'm just sitting there, just like this guy. And anyway, he's saying to me, he says, "Look, I know he was in his 4th marriage, and it was mixed results."
In
And
his 4th marriage and giving you
yeah,
I love it.
and he
Yeah.
said to me, he said, "Look, when he said, I know I've had like 3 divorces, and he said, but when you've made as many mistakes as I have in relationships, right? I mean, you learn, you know it all." And of course, I thought, oh well, okay, and I wasn't convinced. And anyway, it turns out the 4th one fell over as well for the same reasons. But there's a really important point about that. It's like you want somebody to know that they've made mistakes, but they've grown from it and they've learned, and they're going to share that with you. So that's
Yes.
what you want. So I'll tell you right now, real time, this is the biggest problem that I have in my business right now, is that I have systems that work for a job, but don't work for a business.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest one at the moment, because it's just like, oh shit, it works well, but it's only going to take me so far and I'm
Yeah.
already outgrowing it. It's like,
Yeah.
shit,
That's a
you
great
know,
quality problem to have.
it's a great problem to have.
That you've
Yeah.
outgrown your system. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a great quality problem to have.
Good problem. I was at training last night and I got asked a
Tell
fantastic
them
question.
training of what?
I was,
Tell
I
the
was,
folks out here.
yeah, I've started going back to martial arts practice. I've been doing some karate, traditional Japanese karate. And,
Wait,
and
wait,
I'm,
wait, wait, wait. I'm going to brag about you for a second, though, right? Because I think
yeah,
this is so funny. Right. So Jason has gone back to karate and he went, don't forget, Jason had his own dojo and taught this for years, right? So he goes back, humble as pie, goes, oh, I'll just start at the beginning, white belt. He does his first grading a few weeks ago, right? So I ring him, I go, oh, Jason, I forgot to ask you, how'd your grading go? He goes, they kind of didn't know what to do with me. So they ranked me up 9 spots. And I'm like, yes, Jason, of course they did, mate, because you're really good at it. Humble as anything.
well,
Just
it
ranked me
happens.
up 9 spots. Go on. Sorry, keep
Yeah.
going.
Well, yeah. So I was at training, and I got asked this fantastic question. It was about like, how do you deal with comparison? Like, do you find that you have that issue of comparison? And what I said was, I said, actually, I don't. I don't now. I said, I used to. I used to constantly punish myself. And in the areas of life, I have things where I do that. I said, but in the work, I don't. And there's an ethic about the work that we have, which is like, work is about, if I see you doing a good job, I see you succeeding, right? I look at that and I go, that's inspiring. That's inspiring to me.
Mm.
Because if Emma's doing it, I could do it,
That's right.
right?
That's
That's
right.
that's it.
Yes.
I've just got to
Yes.
figure it out. And that's a good problem to have,
Yes.
you know. So where you get a lot of the other though is that people get caught in comparison because it's not jealousy. Jealousy is interesting. Is that envy is the root of jealousy, and envy is where we see what someone else has got and we want it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it's one of the seven deadly sins is because by having that thought, we actually switch off all of our connection to God and the creativity. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we could have whatever we want. We just got to put our focus upon it. That's how reality works. So, but you've got to be doing the work. Where jealousy comes in is that a person has that, but then they also recognize in themselves that they're not prepared to do the work. They do not have the ethical quality to do the work, and therefore they hate you for it.
Yes, and they want what you have. So I'm going to take it
Yeah,
from you. Which jealousy actually means I can't get it myself.
that's right. Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
all shame based.
completely. Yeah.
Jealousy is hard. It's got to be the lowest on the Richter scale, I reckon. That along with shame.
Pretty much. Shame. Shame's pretty much the lowest frequency, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 So yeah. So in that, like that question about comparison was such a really good question because it's like, no, it's that, we don't have to. You can be inspired by the people around you. So when I'm
Yeah.
sitting there, there's people that have been training in that discipline for, 30 years, 40 years. The teacher out the front's got more than 50 years experience, in that discipline. And it's fantastic. It's really good. I've
Yeah.
been practicing more than 40 years, or 40 years this year.
Wow.
And
40 years.
of study, yeah. And you just keep doing it. And there's been highlights and lowlights, and there's been bits where my health fell to bits and all of that, and
Yeah.
trying to drag myself back through. But there's a point there too where you walk into a space, and it's really hard when you've been around something for a long time and you've really done a lot of work on it. It's difficult to walk into a space and not be the smartest person in the room in
Mm.
that discipline. And in fact, it's really awful when you're constantly doing it. It's just like, shit, here I am and I've got to drag everyone with me. So,
Yeah.
but I love it. The teacher that I have at the moment is beautiful in that because I don't. I walk into the room and I get to be a proper student again. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, yeah, come on, lay it on me. I'm just, whatever you got today, let's find out. And
I love
yeah,
that. I love that.
yeah,
I'm a student at the moment. I signed up to this breathwork course, right?
mm,
And I am immersed in it. I'm
yeah,
loving it, and it's like, wow. And there's one thing, especially if you've done a lot of work and you could be teaching and could be doing all sorts of stuff. Anything that you go into, pretend you don't know anything.
yeah, that's it.
Don't go in as, oh, I'm already a trauma expert, or I'm already this relationship, or I already do this. Just go in and go, I'm just going to empty, and I'm just going to fill up and have the discernment of what I want to keep and what I don't want, what I don't need in this course.
Yeah,
And I love that. I've no envy, no jealousy, no comparison, just being super present in the moment.
yeah,
I reckon that's the key to everything. Just being super present in the moment. And I reckon it's the hardest thing to do. That is
yeah,
a
exactly.
practice. That is a practice.
Yeah, yeah,
That was one of my intentions 2 years ago. And 2022 was to be super present. And that has been a consistent practice for me all the time. And I always know when I'm not present, I start panicking about shit.
yeah,
I go into not anxiety, but I get anxious.
yeah,
I start to actually go into comparison, and not of other people, but of me. Well, am I making as much money this year as last year? I go into that. I go into numbers and figures, like that bullshit crap,
yeah, yeah,
and then I kind of fuck shit up,
yeah.
I mess up my frequency, and I when I start thinking about comparisons and numbers and stuff, I come more away from my spiritual practice. I come more away from God and creation, and I go into more panic, and nothing gets done. And then wait for it, it gets better. And then I go into blame. And I know when I really freak out because I want to walk upstairs and tell the boys to clean their rooms. So then I go into that controlling behavior, right? That's great. So, and I don't just walk up, I stomp up, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
stomp
You can
up.
hear yourself coming up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I make sure that they have to be in the shits as well, right? So
Yeah. That's
if
right.
I feel like I'm in the shitty mood, everyone has to be in that mood with me. I just drag,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
now it's like I can see myself. I now know as soon as I hit the third step, I go, Emma, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
I come back down the stairs and I go, right, girl. No, we're doing better. We didn't make it all the way up the stairs this time. We just did
Yeah.
the three
Exactly right.
stairs.
Yeah.
It's like it's just do things better. No one has
Yeah.
to do anything perfectly. You just do it better. And that better, it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds. And this is what I feel really needs to be explained properly. When you're doing anything, no one can do that perfectly the first, second, or third time. Everything is just a build. It's even
That's
going to
right.
the gym and getting strong. You're not going to go to the gym, lift all these weights, go, you're not. You're going to start slowly and you're going to build.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
then eventually you're going to get, and this is going to be next thing, it's going to be second nature. And people say it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's true.
Mm.
It's really, really true. Enjoy the walk along to where you want to get to. Because once you get to the journey, you're just going to have another destination you want to go to.
That's right.
You're like,
That's
been there,
exactly it.
done that. Okay, done, next, and then it's next. So it's how you get there. It's the moments that you can sit in. That's Emma's having one of her rants. That's probably my biggest advice to anybody in anything they do. Sit in the now. Don't worry
Yeah.
about tomorrow, because tomorrow is probably marred from your past.
Exactly right. Yeah. It's fantasy.
It's fantasy. It's just a
It's
fantasy
fantasy.
world, and it's when
Yeah.
people come to you and I all the time. I'm really scared of this. It's a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a lie. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if they say this? Well, it's bullshit. It's a lie. And they go, no, it's not. Well, it is. It hasn't happened. So it's fantasy. A fantasy is bullshit. Bullshit is a lie. Stop lying
Yeah.
to yourself. I say it to my clients all the time. Stop lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Because whatever you focus on, you're going to create, right?
That's right.
You're going to
Yeah.
make it happen. You will make it happen. And it won't
Yeah.
be in that moment. It could have been days before that you'll start making this happen.
Yeah. That's right.
You'll
Yeah.
start calling it in. It's fascinating. So, Jason, we're nearly done with this episode 2. Is there anything else you want to have a chat about? Guys, they're kissing frogs.
Kissing frogs. Well, probably three. I got three things, but they're pretty quick. So
Go for it.
If you're looking for a mentor, right? So first point, they got to do their own work.
Yes.
And they got to be struggling from time to time. Right? They got to show you how they're conquering that struggle, but they're still got to be struggling. So the second thing is that they have to be focused on your growth. It's not about I'm enlightened and you're coming to be in my presence.
Mm.
That's a frog there, toad. That's a toad.
Yeah.
Right. So they've got to be focused on your practice. And that's like we were just talking about. It's like we don't offer a program. It's like, yeah, it's because that's me telling you have to learn my 12-step system. It's like, no,
Yeah.
what are you going through? Let's give you the tools you need in real time so that you can solve those problems and get better class problems.
That's right. Because everybody has problems, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. If you
Everyone
don't,
has problems.
yeah. If you don't, then you're not doing anything.
Well, you're probably in a coma.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which
is a big picture problem.
Yeah, well, you're probably just watching Netflix and eating chips on the couch all day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Everybody has to have problems. Duality.
Exactly right.
But what kind of problem do you have? You know, there's low quality problems of I have nowhere to sleep tonight. I can't eat today. You don't want those problems.
Yeah,
Good quality problems are, like Jason just said, like I have outgrown my business system.
yeah,
Great. Well, business is so good that I've actually outgrown a business problem, a business solution. Yeah, that's a great problem to have.
yeah,
You know, another good problem to have is, well, what do we have for dinner tonight? Is it steak or is it chicken?
exactly.
You know, another great quality problem to have this. All you people who complain about your housework, I've got so much washing. Great quality problem to have. You've got clothes and you've got a washing machine, you've got running water and electricity. Tick, well done.
That's right. Yeah,
You know, you're not beating it against a freaking rock in a creek.
that's right.
Low
Yeah,
quality problem to have. I don't have any clothes. Low quality problem to have.
yeah,
High quality problem, I've got too much washing.
yeah, exactly right.
Great problem to have.
Yeah,
Great
beautiful.
quality problem. All right. Is there anything else before we go, Jen? Have you got more? Yeah,
Two
two more.
two quick
Sorry.
ones.
Sorry. Go for it.
So the last one is well, focus on results. We've talked about that all the way through.
Yeah.
But the last one I wanted to talk about very quickly was they need to be grounded in lay practice or householder practice. If you've got a spiritual mentor, they've got to be talking about how you create your life. They can't be talking about you need to live like a monk, right? I need you to do 4 hours a day meditation, and then I need you to be doing reading these books, and then I need you to be doing that's making your life fit into a monastic program.
Mm-hmm.
That what they need to be doing is they're saying, okay, you need to practice. When I teach meditation to people, and I say, okay, meditation, my meditation, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's 12 minutes because I give myself 2 minutes to get comfortable.
I
Right?
love that.
That's why. And 12 minutes is optimum because 12 minutes, you'll do it every day. Said
Yeah.
half an hour. Some days you just don't have time. If you've got kids,
Yeah, I love that.
jobs, all those things, it's like, oh, then now what happens is your whole life has to revolve around that. Your spiritual practice serves you. Your life is the practice,
That's
not the cushion time.
yes,
That's the
exactly.
point.
The
Yeah,
practice is how you relate to your kids. Your practice is how you relate to triggers. Your practice is when are you making dinner? How are you eating it? Like how your practice is when you look in the mirror, what are you saying to yourself?
exactly right.
The practice is when you're having that sneaky block, you know, a little bit of chocolate and like, are you shaming yourself? You're going, fuck, I love the chocolate. The
Yeah,
practice is love the chocolate.
yeah, that's
That's
it.
great. Actually, you gave me a great idea. I was talking to my mate Michelle the other day, and she's been doing this online program, and every morning it's an hour. They have to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, have a cacao, do meditation, do stretches, and she's really struggling with it. And I'm sitting
Mm,
there going, who the fuck wants to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do an hour's practice? Like some people might want to, but I actually know Michelle's she's a night owl.
yeah,
So maybe she needs to do it at 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning when everyone's asleep, you know, and she's still awake. Maybe she needs to do it then. I'm just thinking that. That's cool.
mm.
Jason, is there anything else you want to chat about
No,
before we go?
no, you and I will just keep going. So I
Yeah, I
reckon.
know, right? Everyone, thanks so much for listening to us. We are Soul Aligned Results. You can find us on a website, soulalignedresults.com. We're on Facebook, Soul Aligned Results. We've got a group there. We'll have all our podcasts there. We have master classes there. We run retreats, and we also we co-parent our mentoring. That is,
That's right.
we're co-parents. We we mentor together. It's pretty cool. Massive, amazing results for our clients. So get involved, please. We would love to know what you want to chat about, and tell us what you're thinking. Tell us how you feel about this. We're here for you. We're here for service. You're not here for us. We're here for you. So let us serve you in the best way that we want to know what you want. So please contact us. You can always email me, emma@emmaromano.com.au. Jason is at, what's your email? What's your website?
Right. My website is thelifeprinciple.com.au.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's always
And we have
places.
soul aligned results website.
Yes,
People can
solar line
contact us through
results.
there.
So we have all the things. Contact us. Let us know how we go. And we'll see you in the next episode. Mwah! See you, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.